Hey, my brothers, this is Davey speaking. My friends, here in the Northeast, my fellow countrymen usually say the following when they see something really bizarre, something really ugly. If that's not the devil himself, then it must be someone sent by him. I don't know if people in your region say something similar, but where I'm from, folks say it a lot. And I think this saying applies to what you're about to see now. I won't comment. I just want you to pay attention. This was a video that Vinicius, the great Vinicius, sent me. And watch with me. Then we'll come back and talk about it. After all, I want to give you some life advice, all right? So let's watch something, right, that reminded me of this saying. If that's not the devil, then it must be someone sent by him. Let's see. Thank you.
The owner of the house said, "Help us, Our Lady, my people, let's pray. The devil has just arrived. I'm going to dance, by the coast with you, my Jesus. Who is that? He scared off the poorly dressed one, and now I'm afraid of him. Of them, that wasn't the devil, but something sent by him. I'm going to dance." She died, he died, causing a big commotion with people coming and going outside.
Romelia. Oh, Our Lady. I hope you don't have anything in your stomach, because if you do, it must have turned your stomach, right? Man, that's Xuxa, right? Who's completely losing it? She already tried several roles, tried to make more adult content. And she always failed, right? Because honestly, family, the real truth is that if there had been social media when Xuxa was at her peak, she would never have gotten so far, right? That's the truth. It was a monopolized, closed-off industry. So only those they wanted had opportunities. They were the ones who decided who the competition was or not. Anyway, right? So according to the information, that was already her farewell, right? Actually, they make something up to try to draw attention to her, but you can see, right? These people just can't accept getting old, right? And then she tries, just like several other sex symbols. Looks like she's heading down the same path, right? Just look at Rita Cadillac. You look at Gretchen, right? These women, my brothers, and I've already told you that I like to do this kind of research. They're not from my time, right? But if you do some research, you'll see that they were the muses, right, of their times. There were lines of men waiting to watch their shows. They were literally symbols, right? But as time went by, the flesh withers, right? Everything passes. And these people don't want to accept that, right? Then they start turning to surgeries. They start, doing things they didn't do when they were young. Just look at these girls. None of them had made movies, right? For example, Gretchen already did. Rita Cadillac already did too. These people submit to that at that exact time, in old age, right? At the time when normally many people were called hypocrites because they were ashamed of things they did in the past. But then, it's like I told you, the media, it works so hard, my brothers, on the culture, on destroying the culture, that now these old people don't feel ashamed of their actions anymore. They don't try to sweep it under the rug like the old folks used to do, right? Now they're proud of what they've done. And then, even when they're old, like in Susha's case, they try again, right? See if they can still get something out of it, attract some attention. Because those images we just saw are simply deplorable, right? You see an old woman all wrinkled, right? Stuffing her underwear inside like she used to do in the past, even on children's shows. So, that's an interesting point, because several times when Zusha received criticism about this, about how she dressed to host a children's show, even though the way she dressed had nothing to do with the kids' program, right? It was basically vulgar clothing she wore. And she blamed Marlene, right? Who I think was the director at the time. Then she blamed Marlene, saying Marlene made her dress like that. To deflect the criticism. But now Marlene isn't around anymore. Even so, she dressed the same way. So, you see that lies don't last long, right? As time goes by, you really start to see the masks come off. My brothers, one thing I've seen and noticed is that there are people who are simply incapable of changing. It's a fact that some people can change, but honestly, especially because of the way the world is right now, if you've been wasting time, right? This is the life advice I give you. I don't know who you are. If it's your brother, a relative, someone you know and like, and you've been spending your energy, you've been spending your time on this person, family, stop doing that. Because we're living in a time, right, that the Bible says people would become lovers of themselves, right? Their hearts would harden like in Pharaoh's time. So I think we're living in that time. And I see, a lot of good people. I've done this myself too, right? And sometimes I still do it. But we insist on wasting energy on bad people. And I say this because I had an experience that was, let's say, pretty revealing on that point, family. So, the guy. This guy has always been a liar, envious, proud. And you tried, right? Man, but he's a good guy. I'll try to open this guy's eyes. I'll try to lead him down other paths. But time and again, this guy goes back and walks down that same path. And you once again go there to try to bring this person back. Try to make them see. My brothers, the time you spend, the energy you're dedicating to this person, you could have made 2 or 3 new friends who would add to your life later on, who are often going through the same thing as you. Sometimes you don't know this person. Do you know why? Because you insist on going to the same places, you keep repeating the same cycle. Man, I'm giving you this advice here, my brothers. I don't know if it's God using me to speak or if it's just me venting anyway. But whatever it is, stop wasting your energy on those who really don't want it, on those who have no future. Don't think you're going to change this person. It's nonsense. People, my brothers, like this Xuxa video clip shows me, no matter how many excuses she gave, right? When the criticism started getting strong, when social media blew up here in Brazil, she defended herself with several excuses like the ones I'm mentioning, right? No, it was Marlene who forced me, right? If you look it up, you'll even see her saying that. And now there it is, right? The mask came off. It was never Marlene, it was her who wanted to dress like that. So, my brothers, just imagine you keep trying, right? Just like with Xuxa, with someone close to you, trying to change that person. But that's who they are. That's their essence. She wants to be like that and sees nothing wrong with it, right? So, just like Xuxa was basically half naked for kids on her show, and she thought that was normal, there are guys who want to keep drinking. There are guys who want to keep getting into debt. I met a friend of mine here. I even want to send her a hug, but I won't say her name, right? But this lady, family-oriented, hardworking, I've never seen anyone like her, She's really the kind of woman you marry. She was never vulgar, always honorable. I believe this girl was still a virgin at 30. But anyway, she bought a car, a Honda Fit. I'll even say the model, Honda Fit, and it was semi-new. And she did that working 2 jobs. Then she bought a Honda Biz and she was really happy. She said, that's it. I have a car. If it's raining, on the weekend I'll go out in my little car. And during the week I'll go to work on the Honda Biz. And this girl's brother, a bum of the worst kind, but he was her brother. One of those out-of-control people, he borrowed money from a loan shark, and the loan shark, wanting to get paid, started making threats. He, saw that his sister had things, she had a motorcycle and a car, and he started saying that if he didn't pay, he would kill him. What does this girl do? She sells the car to pay off the debt. She paid the debt, everything was fine, and her brother thought that was great, right? As we usually say here, he thought it was easy, went there again, borrowed money again, right, again, borrowed from this guy. And obviously the guy lent it. After all, he got paid. And she sold the motorcycle. The guy, same thing again, the same cycle, right? She sold the car there and said she'd give her brother a chance. Then the guy goes there, borrows money again from the same loan shark. The guy threatens her again. It's really sad, folks, this situation. I gave her good advice, but unfortunately advice, if it were worth something, we'd sell it. But anyway. The guy started threatening him again. She sold the motorcycle to pay, took money out on credit cards, which she had a lot of, right? In fact, once I borrowed from her, she's a really good person. Actually, I needed to make a purchase and she lent me that card. I've always cared about her because she's a really good person, folks. I repaid everything and even gave her some extra money. But she took money from the cards, knowing she wouldn't be able to pay it back. She paid off the guy's debt again. And as a result today, I don't know if you still owe anything. I haven't heard any more information, but I know that today she's on foot, going to work on foot. It's been at least 2 years now, and she hasn't been able to buy anything since because her name got a bad reputation, right? With her credit ruined. Yeah, I also heard that she asked other people who had credit cards for money, ended up getting into debt, all because of her lazy brother. Davy, but it's our duty to help our brother, especially when it's our own flesh and blood. Man, I don't agree with that, folks. We try up to a certain point until it doesn't harm us. Because, my brother, understand one thing, I've already told you, I don't know why I'm making this video today, but I just felt like it. Maybe God is using me to speak to those of you going through something similar. Man, whoever it is, if you're going to hurt yourself trying to help this person, you're already wrong. Because get this in your head, when you close your eyes, when your time in this life is over, and it will be one day, all of us are here temporarily. People will move on just the same. The sun will keep rising, the flowers will keep blooming, and you won't be here anymore. I won't be here anymore. So, my brother, if you want to help, if it makes you feel good to do it, it's the Christian thing to do. Yes, but only up to the point, my brother, where you don't harm yourself. Get that into your head. Look again. Go back to the beginning of this video. Look at Xuxa. That will never change. That's just how that person is. It's part of their essence. And just like someone who had all the resources, a lot of money, who could, try to become a better person, because I think that, in fact, doesn't change with time. It's already part of the person's character. And you might be there, my brother, in the same situation with a Xuxa or a Xuxo in your life, right there near you. And you are literally, as I said, missing out on meeting new people, going to different places. Because it's no use saying, but that's just my circle, that's all I know, if you keep going to the same places. What if you maybe change the park where you go for a walk? Or if you change the mall you go to, the stores you visit, the restaurants you go to, wouldn't you meet new people? Keep that in mind, my brother, because beating your head against a wall never works. And if you're trying to help someone, whoever it is, and that person doesn't even recognize what you do, isn't even grateful, or maybe they are, but it's just words, walk away, my brother, wash your hands, okay? Christ himself, who loved more than any human being ever has, what did he say? When people rejected the gospel, what did he say to the apostles? Did you go preach in that city over there? They didn't welcome you, did they? No, they didn't, sir. So when you leave, even wipe the dust off your sandals. That's what Christ said. In other words, just let it go. If someone doesn't want to receive, doesn't want to take in good things, even God says, look, wash your hands, wipe even the dust off your sandals, my brother. Stop banging your head against a wall, because I'm sure many of you have already been hurt by people like that, even within your own family. It's even a sin if you stop to think about it. Sometimes you could help yourself and help someone who really deserves it, but you stay stuck there because it's what you know, because you feel close to them, and so on. And it's all just in your head. That's it, my brothers. I'll stop here. Leave a comment if you've ever had an experience like this and what you thought of this beautiful image that, if it wasn't the devil himself, was sent by him. God bless, hugs, and I'm out, my brothers.
It's here, I'm gonna dance the coast with the lady, my Jesus, who is that? He did dirty and was badly dressed. I'm already afraid of him. If that's not the devil, then he was sent by him. I'm going to dance. She ran, he ran. It was a big commotion with Zay.